Welcome back, Knicks fans. Wanted to recap today's game, Knicks versus the Bulls. This was quite a doozy. The Knicks was able to pull this out basically at the last second. They had about 12 or 14 point lead with about 2 to 3 minutes left in the game, and the Knicks did not score a basket after about 2 minutes um, left in the game. It was they just kept forcing the ball to Julius Randle, and we just struggled with it. And so that was pretty much the story of the game. Julius made some bad decisions towards the end, and then also he had a shot to help seal the game with two free throws, and he missed both free throws in the final few seconds. However, we were saved by with defense by R.J. Barrett and also by Mitchell Robinson because the Bulls had the ball with about 7 seconds to go. They went to DeMar DeRozan, and DeRozan basically went for a pull-up long two, but R.J. Barrett was there to defend it very well along with Mitchell Robinson, and that was pretty much the story of the game. And so we got away with a 1 point win. But there was a lot of good things that happened in today's game, and a lot of it starts with Kemba Walker. He played a great game today. He went 5 of 6 from three for 21 points. Very efficient game by him, and also we had a very efficient game by R.J. Barrett. He went 8 of 15, 1 of 3 from three, scored 20 points. But the best thing about R.J. Barrett today was actually his ability to finish in the paint. He got into the paint. They couldn't stop him from getting into the paint. Not only did he get into the paint, but he also finished. So that really helped us a lot, especially uh, throughout the course of the game. He was very consistent today, not just on the offensive end. He was also very basically did a very solid job on the defensive end. So he played great defense on Zach Levine, although Zach Levine still put up, I think, about 23 or 25 points. However, it was on like 6 of 16 shooting, and so he didn't have a very efficient night. So R.J. Barrett did an excellent job on Zach Levine, and then on the other end, he was giving Zach Levine the business. Just Zach Levine couldn't even stop him from going to the lane and scoring. And so I think tonight, definitely R.J. Barrett won the matchup because he was a lot more efficient. Although Zach Levine scored more points, R.J. Barrett was a lot more efficient and also played the better defense. And so you definitely have to be very proud of that. And of course, Julius Randle, we talked briefly about him. Very inefficient game. He's been struggling with his shooting recently, especially early on this season. He went 3 of 11 today and scored 13 points, but he almost had a triple double. He had 16 rebounds and 9 assists. And so his playmaking has gotten better. It has been pretty good. However, like I was saying before, there's a lot of bad decisions. He's been forcing a lot of it. We don't have to constantly keep running it through him, especially if we see the second time it hasn't worked, we go to him 2 times in a row and we come up empty. It's time to go somewhere else. The other thing too is his turnovers. It's just like it's amazing how sloppy he is with the basketball, and I just don't understand why even bother having them bring up the ball. I really think we need to be a lot more disciplined in how we allow Julius to handle the ball. He doesn't need to be bringing the ball up the court. I don't think that's really necessary, in my opinion. And then the other thing too is we just need to be a lot more disciplined in where he gets the ball on the floor. Like it seems like a lot of the game we were pretty disciplined. It was basically he would get the ball, someone would give him the ball on the high, basically in the wing, sort of like on a high post. And then the thing that was really crazy, they had Lonzo Ball on them, especially in the second half. And Lonzo Ball did a very decent job. So they would have Lonzo Ball on them, but then also they would have other defenders coming in to help too. They were doubling him. So he got a lot of double team. But the main person on playing him was Lonzo Ball. So he struggled to exploit the mismatch. But mostly because there was like a lot of double teams. They did a great job double teaming him, so you can't really blame him too much for that. But he did, he struggled shooting the ball. He didn't make any shots from three, and also he struggled with his mid-range jump shots as well. All the points he scored was from from at the rim, within the paint, which is good. He stayed aggressive and still kept attacking the paint, which is good. Mitchell Robinson had a pretty solid game. Great team defense. He played great team defense. Vucevic did give him the business today, but I think most of it is because Vucevic has a hook shot and he uses the hook shot Hook shot is an unstoppable move, especially if you know how to use it. Vucevic knows how to use his hook shot, and so he did. It's like there wasn't a ton Mitchell Robinson can do against Vucevic, although Mitchell Robinson played very solid defense on him. However, he played excellent team defense. The Knicks overall, their team defense has been excellent. They played great team defense today versus the Chicago Bulls. They do a great job helping each other. There's been some lapses sometimes. However, overall, I was pretty proud of the effort on decent defensive end. Evan Fournier struggled shooting today, but I like. There's a lot of things I like about what he does on the offensive end. How he helps us move the ball, breaks down the defense, try to get into the paint. So I think he's gonna catch his foot and he's gonna get into a groove. And so I think it's we shouldn't really worry about Evan Fournier. So he's gonna be fine. Like I said before, Kemba Walker played great. 7 of 12, 5 of 6 from three, finished with 21 points. Derrick Rose 5 of 10, 12 points. Had 4 rebounds, only 1 assist today, and 2 turnovers. But it was a pretty solid game he played. Uh, and Alec Burks 2 of 6, 2 of 3 from 3 point land and 6 points. Taj Gibson was 3 of 4. He had 6 rebounds, and I mean he did a good job and had 3 blocks. Solid defense today from Taj Gibson. There's a few times he struggled against some of these young bigs on for the Chicago Bulls. You can definitely Taj in some cases you can kind of see his age a little bit. However, he's been very solid for us as a backup. Manu quickly is still struggling. He went 1 of 7. However, he's been playing really good defense, so you got to be proud of that. Obi Toppin, on the flip side, his offense has been okay. The problem with Obi Toppin is his team defense and also helping rebound and boxing out and helping close out defensive possessions. That's actually one of the reasons why it's very difficult for him to get more than 12, 13 minutes because it's just like it just doesn't work when he's in there, and the coach always has to run right back to Julius Randle to get him into the game because we struggle. Overall, the team defense struggles when Obi Toppin is in the game. I want to take a look at the shot zone here. It's a little chart that they have on NBA.com. It shows essentially the shot distribution, how many shots we took from different levels of the court. And the cool thing about it, I think they have a side by side. Let me see. Trying to, it's not showing the Bulls. Anyway, we'll get a chance to look at the Bulls, their own shot zone as well. However, just wanted to look at. I'm really curious. I haven't gotten a chance to look at to see how many points, the average points that are being scored in the paint by other teams. The Knicks basically they outscored the Chicago Bulls in the paint. The Knicks, especially at the rim, the Knicks had 19 shots at the basket. I think that's actually quite a that I think that's high, and so they shot 68% from there, and the league average so far this season has been about 64%. So the Knicks today was above the league average. And the most important thing, we actually outscored the Chicago Bulls in the paint as well. Julius Randle, I think this is what I've been talking about even before the season began, and this is how the Knicks become a more potent offensive team and win more games, because we're gonna have our struggles, right? But we need to play to our strengths sometimes, and we know one of our strengths is basically scoring at the basket. Even as bad as Julius Randle plays, sometimes Julius Randle knows how to finish in traffic, and if he doesn't finish in traffic, like most of the other time, he gets basically a foul call essentially and gets to shoot free throws. And so it's very important to have Julius Randle focus on finishing, attacking the paint a lot more. It's very important that we need to have R.J. Barrett work on finishing at the rim, and which he actually did today. He did an excellent job finishing at the rim today, and so that was very important for us. The So that's very important. Same thing for Evan Fournier. I thought Evan Fournier was going to do a better job finishing at the rim than R.J. Barrett, but R.J. Barrett is just a little more athletic and early since the season began so far. It just feels like RJ Barrett has just done a better job attacking the rim than Evan Fournier does. Not a bad thing. It's great having both of them. When one person is struggling, the other person can take over. And so when you have both of them attacking the rim, and then you have a lob threat of Mitchell Robinson and Obi Toppin, it just it's going to be very difficult to stop to stop the Knicks. As you see today, although Julius Randle's are basically is our top gun, he only had 13 points today, but everyone else was able to step up. And I think part of it is our focus, us being able to focus at getting basically getting shots at the rim because we do have guys that can actually get to the rim and finish at the rim. And so the other thing, we actually obviously did a good job, a decent job shooting from downtown. I think overall today we shot about 37% from three. I think we shot maybe, I want to say it was 11 of 29 or 12 of 29 from three. Uh, I need to check that to see. So yeah, we were 11 of 29 from three, shot 38% from three. It's not bad. It's higher than the league average. The league average throughout the course of the season is usually around 35%. But so we did a decent job there. Better yet, we also played good defense on the 3 point shooters on the other end for on the opposing team. And so the Chicago Bulls only they shot about 34% from three against us tonight. The Knicks made 39 baskets, had 85 attempts, and obviously we scored 104 points. And the Chicago Bulls, they went 36 of 84 for 103 points. And so they shot a lower percent. They shot about 43%. The Knicks shot about 46%. The Knicks have been consistently shooting about 46% from the field. And again, one of the biggest reasons is because of our ability to basically attack the paint and finish in the paint. And so that's been very important for the New York Knicks. Let's take a look at Julius Randle. Want to take a look at his shot distribution and also the percentages from all these different levels. So at the rim, he went 2 of 4 at the rim. He was able to, I mean, they were really hacking him today, actually. They played him very physical. However, he went 2 of 4 at the rim. Not terrible. It's not his normal. He normally shoots around 68% at the rim. But, 50% today, we'll take it, given the kind of game that it was. The Bulls are a very good defensive team. You kind of have to give them that. Everywhere else, Julius struggled from everywhere else in the field. He went 1 of 3, basically in the paint, but away from the rim. He was 1 of 3. He was 0 of 2 from long twos, and he was 0 of 2 from downtown. However, Julius, he was 3 of 13. He didn't really force the shot too much. He just made sure he was pretty patient. He will back down and then try to see if he can find an open man. He did have 9 assists. As you saw there, he was able to find Mitchell Robinson for a dunk. It wasn't the only time he found Mitchell Robinson for a dunk. But he did a good job basically trying to distribute the ball to his teammates. It was just the problem was down the line, down the stretch, when we started to struggle, when he started to struggle, having the offense run through him. I really think the coach should have taken charge, maybe and called a timeout and just basically they should have just went a different route and just try to find another way, see if they could find another way to basically score. They didn't have to continuously force it into Julius for us to just basically keep either he would turn over the ball or it was just like it wasn't the offense didn't flow very well. It just didn't look good, and so it just wasn't even worth it. So you kind of have to put a little bit on the coach. He should have maybe called the timeout and tell them like, hey, we just need to go in a different direction. All right, let's take a look at RJ Barrett's shot distribution. Mr. Barrett, like I said, played an excellent game today. All of a sudden, I can't read because I can't find RJ. Here it is, RJ Barrett. So RJ Barrett, he actually, look at this. Look at this here. He went essentially, so he went 8 of 15 today from the field. But look at this. He basically went 5 of 7 at the rim for 71%. That's really what I've been talking about. That's what he needs to work on. Basically, 0 of 1 from long two, 1 of 1 from the corner, 0 of 2 from the top of the key. But guess what? I bet if we go look at the advanced stats, remember earlier in the preseason and early in the season, RJ Barrett was shooting about 50% from the field, but he was shooting about, usually he would shoot like 2 of 6 from the paint, in the paint or at the rim, and then he'll go basically something like 4 of 6 from three, right? And end up like, let's say, shooting 50%. But his offensive rating will be just would not be very good. It would be pretty. Uh, it would be basically fairly low. So let's just go take a look at RJ Barrett's advanced stats and see what his offensive rating was. Normally, a lot of time it would end up like around 108, or 109. Although he basically was shooting the hell out of the net from three. Look at this. His offensive rating was actually 115, over 115 today, which was good, you know. So that's what you want to see. So basically, finishing at the rim, uh, it really basically helps your offensive rating quite a bit, and it's very important for him to keep working on that and to get more comfortable finishing at the rim. And that's really all RJ needs. If he can just start finishing at the rim, he's going to start getting the respects that he deserves. The reason why he wasn't getting the respect last year was because his offensive rating was just bad. He was basically his offensive rating was normally like I think it was like 105 or something like that. That's just not very good. And so because it was so low, and it was low because he just had trouble finishing at the rim. But now going forward, if he continues to finish at the rim, you're gonna start seeing people talk about like R.J. Barrett basically possibly become like R.J. Barrett as a budding all star or possibly being an all star sometime down the line. And you can see it too. It's just like look at it. He just attacks the paint. He's able to basically you can't stop him from getting in there. But now that he gets in there and he's able to finish, I mean it's just what are you gonna do? I mean it's just really gonna help our offense and it's gonna really help his career a whole lot as well. Also, the other thing you would notice last year, his effective field goal was always around 51 or 52%, and his true shooting used to be around 54%. And so this game, his true shooting was 61%, and the effective field goal was essentially 57%. So if he can keep this up, if he can keep up this kind of production, I mean, you're going to start seeing RJ Barrett's name come up in some lists, and pretty soon you're going to start, he's going to become an all star. Okay, definitely got to tip my hat off now to the Chicago Bulls, though. I wasn't sure how real of a team they were because some of most of the teams they played weren't really that good. Toronto Raptors was a decent team, was the only decent team that they played. However, the rest of the teams they played, they're really young. It's a really young teams that just aren't ready yet. They played Detroit twice, and then they played New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans, they're a talented ball squad, but they just don't play any defense, and so you had to really discount, basically their record. And so, however, you do have to give them credit, tip your hat off to them. Their defense is for real. They play very good defense, and in this league, if you play defense, you're going to be in a lot of games. The only thing they just have to work on, like I said earlier, they really need to work on their offense. Right now, the Chicago Bulls they struggle offensively a little bit, and I think they're going to continue to struggle a lot offensively. The teams that they faced so far this year, they haven't faced any really good defensive teams aside from the Knicks, and the Knicks basically almost let them all basically let them back into the game with a lot of just crazy foulings down the stretch in the fourth quarter. The Knicks allowed 30 points in the fourth quarter. But the thing with the Bulls is it's like sometimes they do play great as a team. They find each other, make some great passes. But a lot of other times there's a lot of one-on-one that happens. And so there's basically in their starting lineup, there's four excellent offensive, not excellent, but great offensive players on their starting lineup. You got Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, uh, you have DeMar DeRozan and Vucevic. And so when they play as a team, it looks great, but a lot of times their offense gets stagnant and they go one on one quite a bit. And so, as we're going to see as the season goes along, I think the offensive rating is not going to be as high is not going to be very high. I have a feeling the offensive rating is going to be less than 110 from the way I see them play. If they're able to find a way to basically play more as a team, um, then I think I definitely think their offensive rating is going to be higher. But right now, I just don't see it being much higher. But they are for real. They because of their defense, and also they just have enough on offense to basically to win some ball games. So I do see the Bulls possibly getting into the playoffs this year. I had to basically watch the Knicks play them before I was able to say, okay, definitely they're for real. And looking at the way they're playing, looking at this defense, they're definitely for real. All right, that's pretty much all I have for today's game. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. If you like it, please hit the like button. If you have any comments, comment below. I'll be more than happy to respond to your comments. Just always be respectful. Again, it was a great game. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, I'll see you guys again soon. Talk to you guys again soon.